Okay, Chris coming in with the deadlift. Starts off with a good Y. Always like that.
It's Chris, and we are going to be going and learning the deadlift. So the deadlift is important in case any of you find that in life or your work you have to pick something off the ground. So it should apply to everybody. The first thing we're going to do is like just to stand still and watch. I'm going to demonstrate the movement, go over a few key points, and then I'll give you an opportunity to do the movement. And I'll take a minute to walk around and address each of you individually as we go through the reps together. So, the way we're going to start the movement is we're going to start standing tall. We want our feet directly underneath our hips.
It's always good just to show them what it looks like first, just so they have that overall visual, and then start getting into stance, grip, positioning, all the other teaching points of this.
Slight arch, lumbar curve in your back. This needs to be maintained throughout the movement. So the deadlift is going to start with the bar just about the shins. Again, your feet are right underneath your hips. Your hips going to stay high. You should feel some tension in the back. Weight is on the heels. There's a curve, a lumbar curve in your spine. Back is flat. You're gazing about 3 feet in front of you. And from there, you push through the heels. The hips and shoulders rise together until you come to full extension of the knees and hips. And that's where the movement ends. Okay? It's like everybody
Might not be a bad idea to also show them the descent on that one as well, the eccentric portion of the deadlift. So a couple reps during your demonstration.
Lumbar curve in your spine. Now I want you to put the bar, the dowel down right about just on at your ankle level. While you're in this position, gaze about 3 feet in front of you. Make sure you feel a little bit of tension in your hamstrings. Hands should be just outside the shins.
See, Sean's back angle right there is a little flat.
Slowly. So, and with the, you're going to start the movement with the hips and shoulders rising together. So, ready? Up, slowly. Fully extend
Okay.
the hips and knees.
So what we can do
Get those shoulders back. Feel the
is when they're down in that setup position, you go around and check a few of them, because a lot of them, we could push their shins back, bring their hips up a little bit higher, and then also teach that descent. So if we look at Marcus right there, hips are low, shoulders directly above the bar. If we look at Jeff, he's actually doing okay in his back angle, but again, we could push those knees, bring those hips up right there. Kurt, we could push those knees back, hips up, because again, we want to lock in that posterior chain, so we're in that optimized pulling position right there. Good fix, but try pushing those knees back to get the hips up.
just outside the shins. That looks good. Okay, on my count, I want you to stand again, focusing on the hips and shoulders, beginning the movement, rising together. Ready, stand. Lock out the hips. Excellent.
So we can give them that cue below the knee, hips and shoulders rise together. Once we clear the knees, that's when we begin to fully open those hips.
3 feet in front of you.
Again, look at some of those starting positions right
Lumbar
there.
curve in the back. Okay, on my count, press through the heels and stand slowly. Ready to go? Stand all the way up, shoulders back, lumbar curve.
And are they standing with the bar, or are they pulling the bar up?
Good. So now, on my count, we're going to do 5 movements. We're going to start in the bottom position. We're going to do 5 just on my count. Okay? I'd like everybody to get in the start position. Put the bar against the shins. Okay, first one. Ready to go. Stand up. Good. Return to start.
So one thing we haven't really covered
2. Ready to go.
is the descent. All we've done is the pull on this right now. And it's okay also to teach them the segment below the knee and above the knee. You can break it down that way. I can also tell you, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's good. Your initial setup, just having them start at the shin was good. But you can also start the deadlift top down. You can start at the hips, go down to the knees, back up, down to the knees, back up, and just work the opening to the hips aspect of it. And then you can go from the middle of the kneecap down to mid-shin. Because again, if we're looking at setups right here, that's not the best right there on Jeff. Marcus, we could probably push his knees back, hips up, put him in a much more, it's a tactile cue when you push those knees back, that point where they feel the entire posterior chain lock in, because then you could see Jeff was going around his knees on that one. All right. So good summary there at the end. But again, probably would have gotten dinged on quite a few points as far as seeing, identifying, and correcting those movement points. And we want to give them the point of performance that bar path stays over the middle of the foot throughout the entire range of motion, because there's a few times you could see that bar was coming out around the kneecaps on a few people and coming out over the toes, which is going to improperly leverage the body. So way to keep everybody moving, keep their interest, and hold them in a bad position or anything like that. But I think at the same time we could probably still, again, strive for excellence and get them moving a little bit better.